we go and we see, and like all these cute little fluff balls, or they literally look like balls of fluff, come running to me, and I'm like, oh my god, I was like in heaven, and I see this like one like reddish one hiding behind the couch, and she's just looking.
Oh my god!
Like very scared. Yes. Like I don't know about you. Yeah. And I was like, I want that one.
The one that didn't.
Yeah, I want that one. And I held her and I fell in love and I pouted to David and he's like, okay, fine. Like, we'll adopt her. This episode was recorded the day after 4th of July. Welcome back to We Time Combo. I'm Liza. Today's episode is all about the purest souls on this planet, animals, especially our beloved dogs. From childhood pets to funny fur baby moments, we're sharing deep love for the four-legged angels who make life better. Because honestly, all dogs do go to heaven. All right, good morning, everybody. How are you?
Hey, good. I am good.
It's post 4th of July. It's July 5th.
Yes.
How was your guys' 4th?
It was good.
It's pretty good.
What did you do?
Good. It was a lot of fireworks, loud noises, and traffic.
Like, did you go anywhere? Where'd you go?
I actually did not go anywhere. We had people over for a poker game, so that was a lot of fun. And then earlier in the day, I had a facial.
Oh,
yeah, you're glowing.
Nice.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I decided I need to get back to like taking care of me.
Yeah.
So that's kind of, yeah.
You do you. You look very good. And then are you going to go get your hair did?
I am. I'm going to get my
glow
hair did. Well, you know, next week we're going to go to Vegas, celebrate my godson and nephew's 21st birthday.
Oh, you know, my brother's going. He's going to go see Backstreet Boys.
Oh, there you go.
For his birthday. Yeah. So how about you, Isaiah? I think we were at the same spot. We just didn't know.
Yeah. Except I also missed it, the show.
Yeah.
So I was at a friend's house for a barbecue.
Yeah.
And it was around it ended around like 9 p.m.
Oh,
then,
that's when it started.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I planned to like go over to Lake Cunningham where you were.
Yeah.
And see like the drone show that they were doing. But I think I missed it because I was like looking for parking.
Yeah.
And it was like all like the blocks around the neighborhood were completely full. And I eventually found one like pretty far away, like around like 2 miles away. And so
you walked? Wow.
I was walking, and just as I got there, like this huge crowd was like walking towards me and out of the park.
So you figured it's done.
That's done.
Yeah.
So
got it.
So I was in the same spot. So backstory, we did an episode on Raging Waters way back in season 1 when they announced their closure, but they didn't close. So they reopened it and called it Calibunga. Yep. Which is Ava's first job, and she's working there again this year. So Calibunga is where Lake Cunningham Park is. So if for those of you who live in San Jose, know Lake Cunningham Park, know Calibunga. So backstory on what happened with the fireworks show that was supposed to happen was there was a big explosion in Lathrop, which is in Yolo County. The explosion happened because that's where all of our fireworks that was going to be happening at Lake Cunningham Park. There was some type of explosion, so they canceled the fireworks show. But I think like a few days before they announced, instead of the fireworks show, they were going to have a drone show. Which, to be honest, I don't know what the hell that was.
I was just going to say, what is a drone show?
You tell us, Isaiah.
Well, you just have a bunch of drones out and you attach lights to them.
Oh, so it's going to kind of give you kind of like, not the fireworky, but the light
will like
show.
form stuff, right?
They'll make like shapes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So our plan was to park across the street. So my brother-in-law lives kind of where you live, Debbie, like across the way. And last year when they had the fireworks show, which was amazing, by the way, we just literally walked across the street into the opening of Lake Cunningham Park.
And you could see it.
You could see it.
Yeah.
But they didn't let us go through there. We had to walk all the way around. We had to walk down, what's that street?
White Road,
and then make a left. All the way around to the other entrance.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So I was like, what the hell? Like, I might as well have just walked from my house because it was far. And then we had to go through some tents where they did a bag check. They checked your bags. They made sure you're not bringing any food, any alcohol or anything like that.
Okay.
So we went there and it was fine. There was a lot of space to sit.
Okay.
I think, Irene, you said that you guys got there like at 6 to reserve a spot. We didn't leave my brother-in-law's house until like 8 o'clock because the drone show was going to start at 9. So we go, there's plenty of spaces. We parked our lawn chairs and there was food trucks. And I was like, oh, great. Like everyone's eating these churros. I want a freaking churro. Like I'm going to go get, it was 8:45. I went and waited in line for almost an hour for these churros.
Oh my God.
I missed the drone show.
Oh my God.
I mean, the churros were good.
But still.
Yeah, I was very sad. I heard it was great. Did you? Oh, you didn't see it. Irene saw it. Irene, you said it was nice, right? Yeah. But it lasted like 10 minutes.
That was it?
Yes.
So short.
So that whole time you guys were waiting and you waited for 10 minutes, it was worth it? Oh, there you go. Worth it.
So you recommend a drone show? Yeah. See, I need to
check out a drone show.
But I was just saying, like, they should do drone shows more often because it's less noisy. And I get really sad and scared for the dogs and animals that are afraid of like fireworks. Yeah. Right. And, you know, that kind of brings us into our next episode.
Yes.
And we're talking about our animals, our pets.
Yes.
And what we remember about them. And do you believe all dogs go to heaven?
I absolutely do. They're amazing. I love dogs.
I think they can do no wrong. There's no evil dog.
They definitely do wrong.
But I do believe they do deserve to go to heaven.
Oh, yeah, but you know, it's like one of those things. You forgive really quickly.
The one thing that I love about dogs is they're so resilient. Like you get really sad because I used to volunteer at an animal shelter years ago. And, you know, you hear these stories of these dogs being like severely abused, being neglected. But for some reason, they still love their owners. They're so resilient and because all they want is to love you. Right. So they're so resilient. They're always happy to see you when you come home. Like I come home. The one person or one thing that's happy to see me, not my kids, not my mom, not when I was with David, not with him at the time, my dog. Yes. Like they just like so happy. Their tails are wagging. They love you. Like I love seeing Lilo every time I come in here. She's just so happy to see me. And they're just resilient. They don't care what you did to them. If you did anything bad to them, they don't care what you say. They don't judge you. Right. They just love you. And it goes for cats too. Like I never really liked cats until I started pet sitting and I just think they're wonderful. Yeah. So do you guys have any good dog stories?
Isaiah?
I just remember the time I got her. Lilo? It was kind of spontaneous. Yeah. Because I think we were just driving by a Petco and we saw all the dogs outside. And my dad was like, yeah, let's just stop by. I didn't even expect to like.
Did you ever want a dog though?
Yeah. We definitely wanted one.
Did you and your brother and sister want a dog?
Yeah, we all wanted one.
Except for?
And I think except for mom.
So did you guys have any dogs prior to Lilo? Any animals? No. Oh, so this is your very first dog.
First dog. Okay. And yeah, so we just walked up and we just said hi to all the dogs. And Lilo was kind of in her cage by herself, which is kind of foreshadowing because later on we would try to get like we would try 2 times to get another dog to like, you know, hang out with Lilo, become their sibling. But she kind of likes being by herself, I think. And like the first time was with a dog named Loki, who was like a husky. And I think either it's like food or just territory, but she kind of fights with them a little bit. Yeah. And the second time was a puppy named Juno. And she was also like kind of like, leave me alone, because Juno had such boundless energy. And so we just saw the Lilo and she was in a cage by herself, but I stuck my hand in there and she started licking it a lot. And I think from there it was like we took her out and we took her on a walk a little bit. And she's super chill and she's a very chill dog, I would say. Kind of nonchalant, kind of like she accepts pets and she like loves you back, but she won't ever cuddle with you. Or
she's not a cuddler.
Yeah, she's not a cuddler. In fact, she like if you try to like sit in the same room as her or like try to like
she'll figure out a way to like
she'll like try to like leave.
I noticed that about her.
Yeah
She's just like she'll let you pet her for a little bit and then she's done with you. Yeah. And how old is she?
How old? 10. Yeah.
And then how old was she when you guys got her?
I think a couple months.
Oh, so she like grew up with you guys.
Yeah.
Describe her for our listeners if they have never seen Lilo.
So yeah, Lilo is kind of a medium-sized dog to a little bit large.
I would say she's
large.
Yeah.
I would say she's a large
She's
dog.
a large dog.
Yes.
She's half German Shepherd, half Labrador. She's kind of got like a brownish, grayish, blackish coat. Kind of a mix of those three colors.
She's very pretty. Yeah.
But she loves walks and get treats, the usual stuff.
Oh yeah, they all love treats.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I have 2 dogs. One is, her name is Abby, and she is my daughter's dog, Vanessa's dog. Growing up, Vanessa's always wanted a dog, and me and her dad kept telling her no, no, no. And then one day we go pick her up from her grandparents' house, and I could already tell something happened. And I'm like, what happened? And we walk in, and you could just tell something was different because nobody was saying anything. And we're like, what? And there's Abby. And that's how she got dog, because her and my dad, my dad loves animals too. So I think he was okay with getting one. And so they went to the shelter. She wanted another dog, but the other dog was taken. And then my dad kind of pinpointed her to Abby, and that was history. And then she brought Abby home. We couldn't say anything because it's not with us. It would be with my parents.
Oh.
So she had her dog at my parents' house. So that's Abby. And we got her at like probably 6 months. She was still a puppy. For the first month, we're like, does she bark? Because she didn't bark at all. Like nothing. But yes, she does bark. So we've had her since I think she's going on like 10 years now.
Wow.
And then our second dog is mine and my husband's dog. And we got him through my brother-in-law and my sister. They breed French bulldogs. And so they had him. And so they said, hey, if you want him, you can have him. And so we got him.
And that's Armani?
Armani.
Yeah.
That's Armani. And they're both... so Armani his demeanor is he loves cuddles. Oh. He loves cuddles. He loves all that attention. He'll be all over you, but he does not like other dogs. So when me and my husband had him, we were in our apartment. And it was great because he's only 30 pounds. In our apartment, we'd walk him, but we realized really quickly that he did not like other dogs, which was weird because he was with my sister's dogs and they got along fine. But the realization is that they were a pack. And so when we took him, he was on his own. And so he did not like any other dogs. So story is, if we would go walk Armani on his walks, and if the other dogs and the dog owners saw him, they'd go right back in because they did not want to. Like, it's not that he didn't even like other dogs. Like, he wanted to fight those other dogs. Like he was like,
he's feisty.
He's feisty and aggressive.
Yeah.
So that's his personality. Abby, on the other hand, she's a rescue. So she's a mutt. We don't know what her mix is.
You know, they have like a 23andMe for dogs.
I know. I really want to check it out for her, just to figure out what breed, what different breeds she is. But she's a mutt, and they claim that she's a Chihuahua. She's nowhere near a Chihuahua. She just isn't. So we don't know what she is. But yeah, I'd love to do that. So she is a rescue. I don't know what happened to her, but she generally does not like men, and she does not like generally other dogs either. But she's one of those dogs where we tell everybody, don't look at her, don't pay attention to her, and she'll ignore you. Like, so she'll come up to you, she'll sniff you, and then she'll walk away. But don't be fooled. Like, just don't touch her. That's what we tell everybody. Don't touch her, because she will nip you. She'll nip.
It's kind of like our friend Dara.
So
She doesn't like to be touched. Don't touch her. Don't give her any. Don't look at her.
Yeah, exactly. So those are two. It was when they are together, because they now both live together. It's very interesting because you could tell that Abby was like the queen of the castle, and then Armani came in, and
he's
she's
the king.
Well, no, poor guy. She literally like bullies him. And he just like takes it, but you know that she's just like so annoyed that he lives with her. But thankfully the house is big enough that they have their own space.
It's like a marriage.
Yeah. So, and he's like, but now it's been like what, a year that they've been together. So now they've just kind of figured out like they live together. And now he's kind of fighting back. So there's certain times where she barks at him and he'll just bark right at her, and then they'll just like go crazy for a little bit, and then she'll back away. But for the most part, she's the dominant one. She's the one who eats first. She's the one who drinks first. Like everything, it's all about her.
You go, queen. Yeah.
But he gets all the love. I'll tell you, everybody that comes into the house gets him all the time. They baby him so much. But very similar to Lilo, Abby's not a cuddler. So nobody picks her up other than probably me and Vanessa. But even then, she doesn't like to cuddle with us. She likes to kind of do her own thing. Yeah. But it's interesting how their personalities are. I would say that I've never been a dog person. It just wasn't me. But now that I have them, oh my God, I can't even imagine. And now I always tell everybody, I send this like little picture of like, hey, if I wouldn't tell you if I was a millionaire, but if you would know,
there would be signs,
because I'd have like 25 dogs or something like that, and I'd open like a dog sanctuary, because I just think that they're just like so beautiful. They're so beautiful and kind and loving, pure, and pure. Yeah, it's just
like their personalities too.
I love how they are. Yeah. And so like coming from a person who's not a dog person or an animal person, how can you not fall in love? And you hear stories of people like, no, I don't want that dog. No. And then they're the ones who love the dog, right? Yeah. So they're amazing. And it angers me how people treat them.
Yeah.
Not well.
Same way. I think that's a lot of the reason why I don't volunteer anymore, is because you hear stories and
that's heartbreaking.
Yeah. And then, you get a lot of people that adopt a specific dog and they get returned all the time.
Oh, see, that's the thing that I don't understand.
Breaks your heart, because it's like, okay, you give them love and you send them back. Like, I can't imagine just like how sad they are. And I just couldn't get over the fact that a lot of the older dogs or the older cats and dogs, they're just going to be put down. Okay. Because they don't get adopted.
Yes. So my daughter, yesterday or the day before, I heard her wailing. I was like, what the fuck? Yeah. So I run into her room going, Vanessa, and she's bawling, like literally bawling. What is wrong with you? And I could hear her boyfriend on the phone, and she's like, she just saw a dog on some kind of dog story on her phone, and I guess it just got to her, and she's just bawling, right? And he's like, oh my God. He goes, I'm at work, and I go, Gabe, hang up. And she's like, and she's like, she just goes on and on about how sad she is because people are so mean to dogs, and and she just saw this. She goes, I just don't understand. And like, it really affected her, which I get, because I also feel the same, but she was in tears. I'm like, girl, you need to, I go, then do something about it. And then I said, that is why. So Armani is a boy. People want to breed him all the time because of the way he looks. But the reason why I don't breed him is because I don't believe in having more dogs. And so, and especially a dog like him, which is, they have a lot of health issues because of the type of dog he is. It's my personal preference that I just don't want to have any more, like bring any more dogs into the world. So I'm a big proponent of if you want a dog, get a rescue dog. But I also believe that all these dogs need to get neutered or spayed, because
absolutely
it's a repetitive, like you're just repeating the problem, right? Yeah. So Abby obviously got spayed, and which is fine. Yeah. But I think that's the way to go, because there's too many of them.
Yeah, not enough homes, and it's all these animal shelters are just full. And if they're full and they don't get adopted, they get put down.
Yes, she's a French bulldog.
Yeah. So I've grown up with animals, and my first dog was a Shih Tzu named Pudgy. And how I got him was I had a cousin that lived with us, and he got into a lot of trouble. So my mom was like, yeah, he can live with us, blah, blah. And he came home one day with this dog, and he was like, I found this dog in the middle of the street, blah, blah, blah. Beautiful little Shih Tzu. Honestly, I think he belonged to somebody because he knew how to scratch the door to go out, whatever. But I'm like, okay, he's my dog now.
Yeah.
Like, no. And these are back in the day where we didn't have like cell phones or anything. Nobody came looking for him. So I'm like, okay, he's my dog.
Yeah.
And
no tag?
No tag, nothing. But I could tell he belonged to somebody because the dog was well behaved, knew how to go pot. Like, he just didn't act like a street dog, right? That dog was my sidekick throughout high school. I love that dog. One day, my dad was like, he ran out, and I think he just went home.
Oh my God! How many years did you have him?
At least throughout my high school. And I was devastated, but at the same time, I was like, I kind of knew he belonged to somebody.
So it was
he was such a good dog that he probably just was like, I'm done with this family. I'm going home. I want to go back to my house.
Oh my God.
My second dog, Hazel, was a Pomeranian.
Oh, I know.
So me and David had just gotten together. We were, I think, a year into our relationship, and I was on Craigslist because I like to look at the dogs that needed to be adopted. I'm not necessarily finding one, but I just like to look.
Yeah.
And I came across this ad, and this guy was like, I didn't know that my dog was pregnant and like had puppies.
Oh, Jesus.
And so, I have these Pomeranian puppies. I think he had like 4 of them, and they were like 6 weeks. They were ready to be adopted.
Yep.
I was like telling Dave, I was like, babe, oh my God, like, look at this puppy. Look at these puppies. So cute. Like, let's just go see.
Of course.
Yeah. So we go and we see, and like all these cute little fluff balls, they literally look like balls of fluff come running to me. And I'm like, oh my God. I was like in heaven. And I see this like one, like, reddish one hiding behind the couch, and she's just looking.
Oh my God.
Like very scared.
Yes.
Like, I don't know about you.
Yeah.
And I was like, I want that one.
The one that didn't.
Yeah, I want that one. And I held her, and I fell in love, and I pouted to David, and he's like, okay, fine. Like, we'll adopt her. I think it was like $200 because he was like, like, I just really want them to go to a good home. I'm not trying. And they were like full bred, like Pomeranians. Yeah. And I kid you, like, these dogs tend to be really yappy. She did not bark at all. She was just like a little bunny. She liked to cuddle. And every night, because she was so small, she couldn't jump on the bed. She would like she liked to sleep like on the floor, but in the middle of the night, she'd go, and one of us had to go and pick her up.
Because she can't jump on
the bed. Yes. And like she would lay on her pillow. Like she was just like, she was the best dog. And I had a lot of anxiety. She was never trained, but like right when I was about to have an anxiety attack, she knew I would have one. And she would jump on my lap and like look at me and calm me down. Like she was my therapy dog. She went through so much with me. Like she loved Ava when we had Ava. So she was about 10 years old, and she ended up having a heart problem. And like she declined like rapidly. And I remember my mom calling me. I was at work, and she was like, I think Hazel's gonna go. Like, you need to come home now. I left work. We took her to the hospital. She passed away. I was devastated. I didn't go to work for a week. I took bereavement. I was like, you better give me bereavement because this is not a person, but this is my baby.
Yes.
I've never ever been like that devastated. Like I haven't like had lost anyone besides my grandma or anything like that.
So this was really
it was a big loss for me.
Yes.
Like I didn't know how to tell Ava, and she was sad. This is the first time I ever saw David cry. Like we were just and then after that I was like, I don't want another animal. I don't want to go through this ever again. But at the same time, like after like a few weeks, I was like, my house isn't a home without a dog. Like I need I just need the love of an animal, right? And so I, was online and we didn't know, like, I just knew that I wanted a big dog. I don't know. I just went from like tiny to huge. Like, yes, I wanted like either a lab or a chow chow and so I was looking and, someone's like, this was out of state. I don't even remember, but she wanted to adopt out these two, American Akita, puppies.
Yes.
And I was like, I want this dog. But, I need to do my research first. So I did do a lot of research on the dog. They're very territorial. They're the equivalent of like having a pit bull, right? Mm-hmm. Like they need to be trained a specific way. They're a one family dog. Like once they stick with the family, they're very loyal to you and it's very hard to adopt them out. Because they will just miss you and they won't love anyone else.
Oh my God.
And so we actually we adopted her. We were in touch with the owners online because they were out of state and she actually flew to us. She was on an airplane, flew to us. We brought her home and Bree now is 10 years old.
Oh my God.
Wow.
She's had an ACL repair surgery that cost us $8,000.
Oh my God.
Oh my gosh.
Which was my boob job money that I was saving for, but I guess I'll save my dog because I love her that much. And we can tell that she just loves her family. She is our protector.
Oh, like she is exactly what you researched.
Anytime someone comes to the door, it's funny because she knows like the postman, she knows she knows if it's a UPS driver, but if it's someone that she doesn't know, she just she gets scary. And now that like I'm single and it's just like me and the girls and my mom, it's just nice to have that level of protection.
Yep.
But I can't even just fathom like losing her, right? Like, cause I know the time will come. And I just wish dogs lived longer and lived as long as humans, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, have you guys, you haven't, Lilo was your first pet.
Yeah.
Isaiah. And like, can you even fathom like
she's always been here.
Yeah,
it's hard to imagine her without you.
Yeah. Have you lost a pet?
I have. So like I had mentioned, my dad likes animals a lot, so growing up we did have a couple of dogs. I mean, we had dogs, but the one that stays with me is our family dog. Her name is Spot. Yes. The reason why I paused is I was like, is it a girl or a boy? So because back in the day, like I said, I wasn't
tell. Yeah.
No, because the reason why is like I wasn't a dog person.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Right. And so Spot was a mix between a Dalmatian and something else. So it was a bigger dog. And so my dad growing up, when he thought of dogs, because we talked about this because our dogs are indoor dogs. He's never had an indoor dog. The way he grew up, dogs were outside. They weren't inside dogs. So the concept of having dogs inside the house was just kind of, it wasn't something that he was familiar with. But Spot was kind of a mix between both. But the one thing about Spot was she, oh my God, I can't even remember if it was a she or he. But the one thing that I remember, so it was my sister's dog. It's a family dog, but it was a sister's dog. So the smartest dog ever. And so this one time, so I don't know, you guys all know Menudo, right?
Yeah.
Filipino Menudo.
Oh, the band?
Yeah.
Oh no, the food. I was like the Mexican boy.
So you guys all know Filipino Menudo, right?
Yeah.
So there is a lot of cutting in that, right?
Yeah.
And it's a lot of meat. So my mom makes the best Menudo. So the story was she basically did the whole like Menudo thing and she put it on the table, on the counter to kind of just keep it there. Right. And we were like, okay. And then before you know it, half of it was freaking gone.
Oh no.
The realization was somehow Spot figured out how to get on top to go eat half of that. My mom was so pissed. And she was kind of looking at it because the half was done. And she was like, can I save it?
because it's a lot of work. Yeah,
it's a lot of work, right? Can you say that? Me and my sister, my dad's like, throw that shit out. So that's a story.
It's like, you can't get mad.
You can't get mad, right? So, but anyways, we did lose Spot just from old age.
Yeah.
But like I said, I just knew Spot as a family dog, but it was very like devastating, I think, for my sister.
God, for sure.
Now that I am a dog person, I can't imagine. Like my daughter will lose it once Abby goes. She's gonna lose it.
You have to prepare yourself.
Yes, and then I already know my husband's gonna be sad about Armani. I'm gonna be sad about both.
Yeah,
and I don't know if I could have another dog.
That's what I said. But it's just like you said, like I can't imagine having a life without an animal, like living my life without an animal. The loss is really, it is sad.
It is. I would imagine. I mean, it's just,
I just can't see myself like living the rest of my life with, and if I stay single, I'm going to have animals keep me company. Like I'd be happy.
You know what's crazy? So like we have two. I would actually be considerate of having another one.
Really?
I think my dad would be he'd go bonkers.
Yeah.
He'd be like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
But I would be like, because I just feel like if I could just absorb all these dogs somehow, because it's so sad.
So I think for me, once Bree passes away, which I hope is not anytime soon, and it's very, very a long time before she does, is I think I would foster senior dogs.
Yeah.
Because a lot of them live the last of their days in an animal shelter, not being loved.
Can we not talk about this?
I feel like someone like me that loves animals can give them
something
to hold on to and something to love before they pass away, rather than being in a shelter. Like, you know what? I'll feed them pizza, hamburgers, whatever they want.
Yeah. So this is what I saw. Like, so have you seen those clips where when it's your dog's time to go?
Yeah, and they give them like chocolate. Yes.
I was like crying. I was like, I don't cry very much. Yeah. When I see these things, I'm like, oh my God, this is devastating.
Like, give them something that they were never allowed to have, that they can finally have. And I think, yes, I would be sad.
Yes.
But I think that I would be more happy knowing that I gave them like love the last few months, days of their lives.
I don't know. I have to figure this out because it is something that it's impacted me.
Yeah.
That I want to do something.
Yeah.
I just don't know what.
We should go into service together. We should do something.
I'm not kidding. It's, I really feel like I said, if I came into this huge amount of money, I would totally open up I would do a dog shelter.
Let's do it.
They get you. Mm-hmm. They really get you.
For animals that don't talk, they say a lot in their eyes. Right? Yeah. You just look at them, you have a conversation with them like telepathically, right? Like if you know and love your dog, you just know what they're thinking. You just know what they want to say.
But they know you.
They know you.
They know you. They know what you need. For some reason they do. But yeah, I would be considerate of having another dog. Like I said, 3 is a lot, but now I get it. Yeah. Now I get why people have more than one dog. Yeah. I get it.
Well, rest in peace, Hazel, and rest in peace, Spot. But yeah, you guys, like, try to adopt, try not to shop.
So this whole shelter, I want to go back to the shelter because you said you used to volunteer at the shelter.
Yeah, the Animal Care Center on Monterey.
And I was telling Vanessa she should do something like that, but you said it kind of made you sad.
It did. Girl, if she's crying off a video, I don't think you really.
I told her, go volunteer.
No, you really have to have thick skin to volunteer at a shelter because you hear a lot of horrible stories of neglect and them being returned all the time and just people just being very careless, especially around Christmas time. I don't know if you hear a lot of people adopt dogs because they're like, oh, I'm going to give, my daughter a dog for Christmas. And then a lot
not realize
90% of the time they get returned back home. Oh. And it's really sad. it's really, really sad. And the fact that it's a kill shelter too. And, you know, you really root for dogs to be adopted and their time is up. I couldn't take it anymore. And that's why I pet sit, because I still want to be around animals and I still do it and I get paid for it, which is really nice.
But I mean, so when you say kill shelter, that they can only stay for a certain length of time?
Yeah. Once it's, and they'll for sure put down dogs that are aggressive, that have gone to homes.
Yeah.
And if they keep being returned, you know, and if
How
they're
long
a
can they
specific age.
stay?
You know, I don't know. And I think it depends on how many animals get turned in.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And
Because if they're coming to a capacity, then they'd have to.
And what hurts me a lot is like, I love pit bulls. They get a bad rep, but they're the ones that don't get adopted out because people are scared of them.
Yeah.
But it's not, I don't think it's the breed. It's not the breed. That's just in their nature.
Yeah.
It's how you raise them.
Yeah, of course.
And you can't treat them like, you have to be trained to train a pit bull, and they're amazing, beautiful animals.
Yeah.
But some people are just ignorant and don't know
How to do it.
Yeah. So, and it's sad because, you know, they do attack and they get put down. They get put down for being something that
they are.
Yeah. So it's really, really sad.
Well,
I mean, wasn't this episode supposed to make us happy? Irene goes, let's talk about something happy. Dogs. So I'm over here like,
Even one happy memory with your dog.
I have so many happy memories. I think,
love my dog. I don't know. There's just too many, but I love Abby and I love Armani, and you know, I love those too. Call him a little dum-dum. but he is so lovable. And then Abby, she's just so smart. She figures it out, and Armani's just like, how'd you do that? Like you could see them both going, like you could just see this unfold in front of you. So yeah, I mean, having them both together is it's a lot of fun.
well, for me with Brie, and I don't know why my mom allows this behavior, but she spoon feeds Brie.
Whoa.
And I think she does this because, you know, her grandchildren are grown up. She has nothing else to do. And so
She's like, I don't care.
Yeah, she's a princess. And so one day my mom went out of town. And so I give Brie her food. I'm like, okay, here's your food, Brie. And
she's like,
she
waiting.
looks up at me like, how am I supposed to eat this? And I'm like, no, I'm not spoon feeding you. She's like, oh, I'm not going to eat.
Are you
She
serious?
didn't eat for like 2 days.
Are you serious?
Finally, I had to spoon feed her. And she's like,
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you spoon feed her?
I don't. My mom does.
Oh my God, that's wild.
With a real spoon.
Yes.
It was a real
Well,
She is like, yes. My mom literally just,
feeds her.
she's Subu.
Yeah,
It's called
so,
Subu.
yeah.
You know, how about you? What's your Isaiah best memory of
best
Lilo.
memory,
little Miss Lilo?
There's so many, like,
Yeah.
just like little things that she does. I think one thing I like is that she's very well behaved these days. So like you can open the door and she'll just look outside.
She
And
won't run out.
She won't run out. She'll just like look outside, and I like seeing that. Like she just like is curious to see what's outside, and she's out there and she's just looking, but she's, you know, that she'll just be like chill and she won't
Yeah.
run out. So
She's the best
that's
dog.
one thing. Yeah.
Yes.
All right, guys. Well, enjoy
All
the rest
dogs
of your day.
do go to heaven.
They should.
Yes.
All dogs, cats, bunnies, hamsters, gerbils, whatever you consider an animal, they all go to heaven.
Yeah.